Hi, good morning. Welcome back to our history class again. Okay. How do you feel today? Happy? So, can you remember what were we discussing or talking about in the last class? Yes, we were dealing with a new subject, with a new topic, right? Yes, it is history. History first lesson. What was the title of the lesson? Yes, that is what, where, how and when. That was the title. So in history, among all these question words, two are very important. You may know that. Which are very important? That is where and when. That is time and place is very important. In history, which are the two important themes? Time or the age or period and date. It is very important. That means date we were discussing deeply, that is in history there are two types of dates. One is before Christ and BC, and another one is after the death of the Christ, that is AD or unknown domini also we can call. Okay, next one we were talking about the theme of history, that is what is the content of history. Actually, the content of the history is the past important political events. Important past political events are the theme of the history. That means about the life of the people, lifestyle of the people, livelihood of the people, people's wearings, people's eating habit, people's living habit, means where they were living and what was their occupation. Like that, many things are coming under the content of the or the theme of the history. Next, we were talking about what is what are the sources of history. How can we know about the past? That is the meaning of source of history. Sources of the history we were divided into two sections. One is archaeological section and another one it is literary section. Archaeological section deals with the old remainings of the people who were living many years back. By making use of these old remainings, scientists or historians make or prepare a scientific study, and they are finding or discovering the age and the peculiarity of that period, like that. In the archaeological source, there includes many things, old remainings that is left over by the old people who are living in a peculiar region or territory. It may be tools, their weapons, their parts of their houses, and the remainings of their grains or storage facilities or building remainings or their toys, and the animals lived in that area. The remainings may be bones and certain stone pieces, like that. Many things are, and including coins also. Coins. These are all coming under the source of which one? Archaeological source. Another important source of history is, what is it? Literary source. It related with the literature. Literary source, especially in history, can be divided into two sections that we are discussing as very important area also, that is inscriptions on one side and manuscripts on the other side. Yes, inscriptions are somewhat written or marked in a hard surface, whereas manuscripts were seen or marked or written in what type of surface? Soft surfaces, including palm leaves or twigs of the trees. So, from this definition itself, we could understand one thing, that one is long lasting and one is easily perishable. Which is easily perishable or destroyable? Yes, manuscripts may be easily perishable, whereas inscriptions were inscribed or marked on hard surfaces, including stone pieces or rock pieces. or temple walls. So it is very hard, or it is long lasting or durable. So these are the literary sources, and I think we were stopping the class in this area, okay? And before that we were dividing the total age into three periods, that is ancient, very old, medieval, and modern. Okay, so we were stopping topic with this literary source, right? Yes. Today we can go start our class with the literary source itself. That means there are two periods. Two periods here means yes, two times in the when we are considering the chronology of history. That means sequence of age. That is, one is prehistoric period, and second one, it will be naturally what? Historic period. Prehistoric period and historic period. Two periods. One is prehistoric period. Another one, historic period. What is the meaning of prehistory? Pre means before. So prehistoric period means before historic period. So let us talk or start with the historic period. Historic period means a period in which writing art started. That means when people know the art of writing, that means the sources of history in this historic period were seen in the form of writings. That means a developed time, developed age. Such a period is called historic period. And what will be the meaning of prehistoric period? In the prehistoric period, there was people didn't know about the art of writing. That period is called what? Prehistoric period. So these are the two important periods, and it comes in the literary source itself. Then today let us go through the two names of our country. You may know that in this our past history that you are going to study in 6th standard. What is the title of this book as a whole? Yes, it is our past. So in this book, we are studying about Indian history, especially ancient Indian history. So in this ancient Indian history, there are our country is named in two names. You may know that, you might have heard of. What is the name of our country? Commonly we can say, what is the name? Tell me. Yes, it is India. India is one name. Another name also there. India has one more name. Can you tell me anyone? Yes, right answer. It is Bharat. So we can consolidate. There are two names for our country. One is India and second one it is Bharat. So names of our country. Two names of our country. One is India. Second one, tell me. Bharat. Yes, Bharat. So can we start with India first or Bharat first? You can decide. Anyway, yes, it is. Let us start our country's name with India. India, how did our country got such a name? You might have heard of many rivers of India, many Himalayan rivers. Can you name one Himalayan river? Correct answer, it is Indus. Indus. It is again called Sindhu. Yes, Indus river. Actually, our country got the name India from this Himalayan river called, tell me, Indus. Yes. It's very important. our country got the name India from the river Indus, a Himalayan river called Indus. You know, in ancient period itself, many foreigners were coming to our country for propagating religion and for business purposes. And especially from Iran and Greece. From Iran and Greece, you can check this place, this names of these countries called Iran and Greece in your atlas. Okay, from Iran and Greece, many people were coming to our country, and they called, who called? Iranians and Greek people who came to our country for business purpose. They called the people living around the river called what? Indus. Living around the river called Indus as Indos or Hindus. Iranians and Greek people called the people of India who were living around this river called Indus as, tell me, Hindus or Indos. Yes, they called our people as Indos or Hindus. Actually, this name was later called as Hindus and the people are called Indians. So, like this, in such a way, our country got which name? Yes, it is India. Clear? Yes. How can we define or how can we describe our country got a name like India? Yes, India is a name of our country which was named by two foreign countries. People, which are the two foreign countries? Iran and Greek. They called the people living around a peculiar sacred river. It is a sacred river of Hindus also. It's a Himalayan river also. So the people living around this river, this Himalayan river, what is the name? Indus. They called the people as Indos or Hindus. And gradually they were calling us as India. So in such a way, we were getting which name please? India. Secondly, our country has one more name. Tell me once again. Yes, it is Bharat. Bharat you might have heard of. Yes, there is a political party, a major political party which is the ruling party of at present. At present, India is ruled by a major political party. What is the name of that party? Yes, Union Government BJP. What's the full form of BJP? Yes, Bharatiya Janata Party. So this is another name of our country, Bharat. So we now we can check how did our country got such a name. To understand this, you have to know about Hindu religion. In Hindu religion, there are 4 Vedas. How many Vedas are there? Yes, 4 Vedas. Can you tell me which is the holy book of Christianity? Yes, it is Bible. Which is the holy book of Muslims or Islam? It is Quran. Like that, in Hindu religion also there are 4 Vedas. How many Vedas? 4 Vedas. Which are they, you know? Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda. Rig Veda, Samaveda, Yajurveda and Atharva Veda. Actually, this name of our country called Bharat is got from the first Veda of Hinduism. Hinduism means the theory of Hindu religion. Hinduism, that is, what is the first name of the first Veda? Rig Veda. So, our country got the name Bharat from the first Veda of Hinduism called Rig Veda. Rig Veda. Yes. So, let us conclude this. Let's consolidate this idea that India has two names, India and Bharat. India is named by Greeks and Iranians who came to our country, and they called the people living around the Indus River as Indians. And Bharat is a name that we were called by with this influence of which Veda or first Veda of Hinduism called Rig Veda. Okay, and let us consolidate this class now. Okay, so that means by this our area of first lesson will be coming to an end. First of all, we were dividing history into three periods: ancient period, medieval period and modern period. Then, what is very important in history? Very important in history is date and place. That means where people were living and in which period. That is important in history. Then what is the theme of the history? Theme of the history is actually the civilization or culture of the people or important political events. Political events may be influenced by the lifestyle of the people, including their food habit, including their occupation, their cultivation, and what type of buildings they were building, and or what type of houses they were living, and what they were engaged in, what were their beliefs, thoughts, practices, customs, etc. These are the themes of history. And next we were going to different sources of history. Source of history can be broadly classified into two sections. One is literary section and the other one is archaeology. Archaeology means through excavation. Historical scientists, that means historians, are making these things or subjecting these things into scientific study. That is archaeology, and for the archaeological purposes they are using all the remaining such as building parts or pots or tools or coins, etc. etc. Another an important source of history is what you know, that is literary source. Literary source, important among them are manuscripts and inscriptions. Manuscripts were written on soft surfaces like twigs of trees and palm leaves. You might have heard of these palm leaves. Yes, and thaliola. Yes. We are touching the area of the two names of our country, that is India and Bharat. I think it also will be clear for you. And in case of further doubt, we can discuss in the Zoom class. Okay, and your doubts I will be clearing. Okay, bye. Thank you.